全球的朋友们，大家好，我是本次大会的执行主席傅学礼博士，也是我们世界整合医学学会联合会的执行主席。今天呢，我们非常荣幸的邀请到一位非常重量级的嘉宾，因为在海外整合医学的代表。那么，因为这位教授呢，许家杰教授，中文名字叫许家杰教授，他的英文名字叫 Dr. Chu。然后我们在北美地区，全世界都非常有名，因为他在我们洛杉矶的 UCLA 有5个整合医学中心，他既是 UCLA 的教授，也是资深的这个整合医学的专家。那么他呢有一个基本的介绍，我现在 share 一个 screen 给大家看一看。我们许教授呢，他是 UCLA 东西整合医学中心的主任，美国医师学会的会员，是国际知名的教育家和研究员，并获得内科和临床药理学委员会的认证。我们等一下呢，就请 Dr. Chu 用英文，因为 Dr. Chu 长期讲英文，他就用英文来给大家做这个演讲，然后我们会稍微做一点，他最后也会用简洁的中文给大家提一提要点，好吗？Dr. Chu 能不能麻烦您这个先用这个中文给大家做一个简洁的介绍，然后您就开始您的英文演讲。Thank you so much, Dr. Chu.
嗨，我是许家杰教授，在 UCLA 这53年都是在医学院这发展这个中西医结合，也帮中国的很多院士、陈可辛院士、吴承忠院士、韩其生院士，还有屠呦呦，都是我们这个一同来推动这个结合医学的工作。我我今天高兴有这个机会帮你们分享一下我们在 UCLA 摸索出来的一个以整体观念的处理全球医学危机。我说一下这个全球医学危机，就是因为现在老年社会每一个国家每一个社会都支撑不了，因为老年社会很多这个医学的费用就已经差不多很多家庭都是支撑不了。另外一个就是COVID 以后有很多加重很多这个情绪精神病，还有这个疼痛的问题在美国就有这个opiate 这个吗啡crisis，所以很多 homeless 都是因为很多因素。不过我觉得是他们有精神病，他们有疼痛所以都是不可以工作所以我们现在这个在 UCLA 这个30年周年，我们就摸索出一个以人为中心的医学 model，所以我就希望今天就用英文给其他国家的因为我刚刚也是从欧洲、波兰、塞尔维亚，还有这个德国这讲呃这个课题，就是要用一个全新的一个以整体观念的 model 来去解决现在每一个国家要应对的医疗危机。
So great. So right now, please welcome the Dr. Chu. Use the English speech. He just traveling from a lot of work the country come back to Los Angeles. He just fly in. So thank you so much. Take your time and give us a chance. Speech you're just traveling a lot of country and with your many years experience, 50 years experience in the UCLA. So please, the Dr. Chu, that's your time.
Well, actually, my last name is Dr. Huey. Huey is 许家杰，在香港，我在香港去美国的，所以Dr. Huey is my English name。不过所以很多如果看我的 KK Huey 你们这个如果许的话，都是在中国都是 HU，在台湾就是 HSU 啊。So 所以我现在就是用英文
Please
讲，因为我的普通话是不太好。不过我刚刚已经给你们简单的说一下为什么要有一个新的医学 model。这个医学 model 就是我们就是以中西医结合为主的一个 model。因为这几十年我是参考中国这个从1955年开始的结合医学的工作，所以我们在 UCLA 就是利用医学这个平台来去摸索出一个在西方社会这个西方医学重镇来去推动这些工作。
Yeah, because Dr. Chu very experienced and also he's a successful model，是非常成功的一个这个 business 的模式。这个模式真的，他们在我们这边的说话的权利，因为 Dr. Chu 本人是西医，然后他又有这个整合东西医的这个观念，所以他们的这个 model 是非常成功的。每天的病人量是络绎不绝的。应该说，中国想要到海外推广中医的话，一定要采取这一类似的模式，才容易走向一个比较主流的社会。So right now it's a time give to the Dr. Chu, please.
我们也将我们的理念这个分享给上海。上海，我们10年前也参与训练1万个西医背景的学习这个中医大军区社区，花了3年时间。所以这个 model 也是帮我们这个好朋友王文健教授在华山医院的中西医结合医学会，大家一同推动这个工作的。OK，
好
好
，please share your screen.
，OK，I already share my screen. So actually
I don't
how
think
do I
so.
get out？
You
Uh,
don't share your screen right now. You need the go. Yeah, Dr. Chu.
well，1969年我在 UCLA 念chemistry. At that time, my idea is to find a new drug from the herbal pharmacopoeia, just like uh, Toyoyo with the discovery of artemisinin. Uh, but I was exposed to surgery using acupuncture during surgery. So, and I recognized that China embarked on integrating Chinese and Western medicine to create a new medicine. So that was my dream as a young medical student. And that's what I try to do is to use the UCLA, world-renowned university in medicine, in conventional biomedicine, to try to understand what are the strengths and the weaknesses of both Chinese medicine and Western medicine and how the two can be put together. So that has shaped my whole career at UCLA starting in 1971. So I learned from many of the pioneers of integrated medicine at UCLA through reading their work. So in the 70s and 80s, I read most of the texts and papers written by many of these pioneers of integrated medicine, mostly from Beijing and Shanghai, and obviously someone from also from Guangzhou, Guangdong, because I learned mostly from Master Deng Tietao, Guo Yi Da Si. So this is sort of a project that I did 15, 18 years ago, where I recorded the story of many of these pioneers. And I first met Toyoyo when she, kind of came to the First World Congress in Beijing in 1997. We recorded her story about how she actually discovered artemisinin, and we put it on YouTube. So we are very, very, happy that her important work was recognized. First getting the Alaska Award, and secondly with the Nobel Prize. So our center has been established since December 1993. So we will be reaching our 31 year, but we're still celebrating our 30-year anniversary. So our interest is not to find a new drug or find a new treatment for a particular disease. We want to basically blend the two medicines together to create a health model that can allow us to solve problems safely, effectively, cost effectively, and make it available and accessible to patients, to their families, and in the communities. So I don't have time to go over all the things that we have done the last 30 years. I wrote a paper for the WHO. I was advisor for the World Health Organization, since 1999. So I spoke in Beijing, I spoke in Macau, uh, and also in Japan. And this is the paper I wrote for Japan WHO meeting to talk about the potential of incorporating traditional Chinese medicine into clinical practice. At this time, I already recognized that there will be healthcare crisis if we do not have a new model. You need the new model that incorporate traditional Chinese medicine. Because most of the problem, and I think that China is working on it right now by controlling the increasing cost of an aging society. So in 2005, a report that I always try to quote is that if you do not have a new model, most countries would have unsustainable healthcare system. And this is happening right now in every country. The US actually spent $4.4 trillion, but they do not have good healthcare, even though technologically very advanced, very, very smart people, but the money spent is in the wrong places. And it's because most of the money is used when patients already get into advanced disease. You use a lot of money to try to treat an advanced problem rather than preventing it. Or you mop the floor and don't turn off the faucet. So that's the problem of what I see the problem with the US biomedical model. Now, I have tried to advise people not to get into using opiates for chronic musculoskeletal pain. I wrote about it in that WHO paper that you need to have a new model to take care of pain, not using narcotic. Unfortunately, in the United States, there's a push in using narcotics. And so now we have these opiate crisis that lead to many people die from fentanyl, from either prescribed or off the street type of narcotic. And it decreased the life expectancy of the US because of the young people are dying from opiate overdose. In terms of crisis, I want to give my good friend, old friend, Master Deng Tietao. I read about his work in the 70s. I invited him to UCLA in 1992. We spent 3 weeks to talk about Chinese medicine, integrated medicine development, and I visited him in 2006. I visited him again when he was 100 years old at his home, and I was invited to speak at his memorial when he passed 2019. And one of the reasons why I think we need to remember Master Deng is because he was the one who introduced Chinese medicine to treat SARS. And with the experience of Guangdong and also Beijing and Tianjin to treat COVID, treat SARS. So we have the clinical experience of treating a unknown infectious disease with, I can mention Jiang Boli, Wang Luqi, and also Tong Xiaolin and Zhang Zhongde to send to Wuhan. And I think that this really is a major contribution of Master Deng bringing Chinese medicine to treat infectious disease, and for the experts who learn from that experience to bring it to Wuhan, and then make Chinese medicine to become so much more recognized even by people within China. So I don't have time to go over all these crises that are overlapping, because there is the chronic pain crisis, the opiate crisis, there is the financial unsustainability with people getting old. But now we also see many problems in young kids. Young kids are having mental health crisis, and that there's also the issue of hate crime with the healthcare disparities. So, so these are all coming together. And so we desperately need a new model. And I believe that Chinese medicine has the holistic model, look at the whole person, unlike the current biomedical model that address different parts of the patient. And I believe that this is what we have created, is bring back the whole model of Chinese medicine, not just the modalities of herbs or acupuncture, qigong, but how do you put it all together? But you have to go back and understand the person. So we have created a big team. I started as a one-man person after I decided to launch a center. And through education, I trained many of my current professors and associate professors and assistant professors. They are my former students, residents, and fellow. So we have 4 clinics with an inpatient program. We also take our model to underserved population in Chinatown and San Gabriel Valley. And so we actually have a Chinese diaspora initiative to try to bring this model into Chinese community, because even in the Chinatown Service Center health system, they have Western medicine, but they do not have Chinese medicine until we brought this in several years ago. So these are all our clinical team and education team, with some of them, covering different areas. But all of us are board certified in internal medicine, family medicine, or medicine pediatrics. And that, so we have been a clinic that receive patients from more than 500 plus specialists and subspecialists within UCLA. It's a clinic of last resort, 最终治疗。我们不希望是最终治疗。We would like not to have people come to us at the end. We want people to learn this so that they can help the patient themselves. And we will talk about our educational program. So, 结合医学 integrated medicine in the United States has been around not as long as China, but has been around at least about 30 years. And this is the definition of 整合医学 integrated medicine in the United States. Is person-centered, holistic approach, utilizing all appropriate therapeutic modalities, leverage the body's ability to heal itself through self-care, emphasize prevention and wellness, and our model actually, because see, in the United States, different people using different approaches of biomedicine plus whatever is in the TDA camp, complementary alternative medicine. But in our model, we focus on the theory, the physical construct of Chinese medicine. And then we also incorporate the research findings of the latest science in modern medicine. I don't have time to go over our whole framework, but the most important is to focus on the concept of balance. Both East and West approach balance. Chinese medicine focus on regulating the system compared with blocking or stimulating to achieve balance so that you take a medicine every day. And the concept of flow, we talk about the flow of blood, flow of fluid, but I think in Chinese medicine, the flow of qi is very important, which is an earlier stage of the problem. And that the root cause oftentimes is the person. So right now, I don't want people to use Chinese medicine with herbs of acupuncture to treat different diseases. Oftentimes, if you don't treat the person with many of their lifestyle problems, with many of the stress that they do not know how to cope with. So, in a sense, we emphasize prevention, we emphasize education. We want to achieve safe, effective, affordable care. So that's our clinical model. We emphasize self-care because I think self-care is the secret for patients not to harm themselves, how to help the body heal, because most people basically get into trouble because of their poor lifestyle and also because they have so much stress that overwhelm the body's ability to handle. We educate the patients throughout how they eat, how they should sleep, how they exercise, and obviously we use acupuncture-like stimulation, including trigger point injections. We try to educate the patient what they can do for themselves. And then we also work with teams of people from both East and West. Obviously, with UCLA, we have all the experts, but the most important thing is to have a quarterback, someone who would manage the patient to teach them what they should use East, when they use West, and not instead of, but navigate the two systems in a orchestrated way. So we wrote about this in a paper that we published in Europe because I'm trying to take our work to other less resource countries as part of our intention to help people who want to have safe, effective, affordable healthcare. And our model is based on very, very important science. This is an important body of knowledge of research showing the effect of chronic stress on health. And this is done at Rockefeller. We actually summarized this research in a Chinese paper that we wrote for our colleagues in China. So this is very important to try to understand that if your body have too much stress, whether it's psychosocial stress, mechanical stress, chemical stress, and many other stresses, climateric stress, it overwhelms the body and then different pathways of diseases will occur. Another very important research in modern science that is not known in China is how you can manipulate the vagal tone to modulate the inflammatory reflex cascade. And that's, I think, the secret of many of the things like acupuncture or qigong and many of the other approaches that make your neck and your back not so tight. So we also in our clinic teach our patients about many of these approaches that are common, like music therapy. We also introduce pet therapy. We also educate people about self-acupressure and meditation, uh, and eat proper nutrition. So these are some of the things that we do. And then for acupuncture, we introduce this to people who doesn't even want to have needles. You don't need needles. Needles is just another way of stimulating the body to reestablish, balance again. And so it's very common for our patients to just learn how to use, their hand, use golf ball, tennis ball, to use cupping, to use many of the other approaches, including the TENS unit, which we teach a patient how to use every day. And also in the clinic, we would do trigger point injections because we use acupuncture as a major way to decrease stress, besides meditation and body mind exercise, qigong and yoga. Because many of the patients who come to us, they have all these diseases in combination. So you cannot think about what is the best treatment for that particular disease. You have to treat the whole system. And trigger points overlap with acupuncture points. Trigger point is actually a Western medicine concept. And since the 1970s, I recognize that there's a lot of overlap. So we teach our medical students and our physicians to do trigger points with the acupuncture point concept so that you can treat many conditions. Many conditions. That is not just for pain. We also teach people what lead to formation of those trigger points. And oftentimes these trigger points are also the active acupuncture points. So by virtue of people preventing many of these many of these factors that lead to formation of those trigger points, tendon points, and active acupuncture points, you can treat many different conditions, not just pain, but non-pain manifestations. So another area that we teach our patient is to do washa release through cupping. And we recommend them to do Tai Chi and Qigong by showing them like on some of the programs on YouTube, because we are now doing a research study to show that you can teach people just online how best to do Tai Chi, which has been shown in many good clinical trials published in good journals that they can be helpful for people with cardiovascular, heart failure, with Parkinson's disease, with falls, and also improve immune function, also mental function. And more of these sort of approaches are used in combination with Tui Na, with Yi Jin Jing type of Qigong exercise in combination, and it's published in research read by biomedical trained physicians. One thing I want to emphasize is that one very important way about prevention is that too many people, including many of our kids, are having early cervical problems with the head down, and the head is way too heavy if you do not have it sit upright on the spinal column. It can go up to 60 pounds, okay, all day, and that will lead to neck, just not neck pain, but it lead to many of the problems in the neck and the back and all the control systems. So in our clinic, we teach our patient how to use TENS unit in using the golf ball, the tennis ball. We recommend to get a massage chair. So just because I am so concerned about healthcare crisis, I try to disseminate our model as much as possible because we get so many patients. UCLA has close to 1 million lives, and with so many doctors referring to us. So, and I see that the crisis level is like increasing with each year. And then my last actually meeting for the WHO was in Macau in 2019. The whole idea is that, well, how can we quickly bring integrated medicine, traditional medicine into health systems and healthcare practices? And one thing that we also try to demonstrate, besides talking about it and teaching more people about it, is to demonstrate in research that we can save money. The most important thing is that if you use this model, you will be able to save money. And I don't want to go into detail of what this is all about. We also try to, during the pandemic, to teach people just using online video to teach people how to do self-massage of acupuncture points for stress management. So we have to keep thinking about not to use money, use to medicine to make money. How are we going to help people by using the safest and most cost-effective and affordable approach? So a lot of our patients are already trying different ways to help themselves, and many of them are mixing it. I think you need more people trained in both, and that's what we are trying to do, is to train as many people in different sectors, not just people in healthcare, but people in government, people in business, and the public. Because this model should be learned by anyone who is educated, and every family should learn this so that they can help themselves and then learn how to navigate the complex healthcare delivery system. So we start teaching, medical students in 1995. We take it out of the medical school and teach anyone from around the world who can learn from what we are teaching. And so we put it also online as well, because I believe that there's a need to try to train different types of healthcare professionals, not just physicians. We we work with acupuncturists. We have a course for dentists. We also work with behavioral health. I collaborated with Beijing, Eye Hospital to have East-West eye, health, particularly for the elderly. I think the most important is to try to train as many people at home, caregivers. So, so we have created some of these integrated medicine health coach training program, and that we want to have more and more people to learn it. So we also make this available to train our young trainees and have them learn more non-drug mental health services. Because every time you have chronic pain, you have chronic mental health. You have chronic mental health, you have chronic pain, and you also have chronic fatigue as well. So we also, try to have online courses for acupuncturists, online courses for biomedically trained healthcare physicians as well. So to conclude, I had a dream when I was a young medical student, and after 50 some years, I created a model that I think has worked within UCLA. I would like to have share this model with as many people as possible. And that's why I've been traveling, in different cities and countries to try to talk about the need for a new health model and in what way this can be helpful. I believe that most people, including people in China, still do not appreciate the ancient treasure of traditional Chinese medicine as much as it deserves. And I hope that we can help more people. And then after they get helped by it, they say, "Oh, I didn't know that this already has been in practice in China for thousands of years." So So that's sort of what I hope to see that we work together. Doesn't matter what specialty, what line of work, everyone can participate in improving healthcare through our collaboration. With that, thank you very much. And please contact us if there is an interest for us to collaborate.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Chu. The Dr. Chu gave us his business model and also tell us what he did. You see, his team is beautiful and they very successful in the world. They have the 5 different clinic in the UCLA, and from his one person built up the very big group and making a lot of the improve for a lot of people the health. And also that is maybe in American only one person bring the Chinese medicine go in the go in the Western medicine system. So that is a very successful model. Very thanks for the Dr. Chu today coming here, give us a very good speech. Thank you so much, Dr. Chu.
Okay, thank you very much.
我用
不，
中文讲一下，就是刚才 Dr. Chu 呢，他用许家杰教授，他是用英文来演讲，主要是介绍了他的这个生意的模式，就是说他要怎么把东方医学带入到西方的这个系统里面，然后呢，也讲了平时他对病人他们的照顾，用了很多整合医学的方法，不是提倡病人去用那些鸦片类的药物。对疼痛的管理、对精神的治疗都采用了很多东方的一些气功、太极按摩，甚至于针灸也只是一个部分。因为有些人怕针，他就教他按摩呀，用那个点穴啊，或者是高尔夫球，或者是那种网球来帮助他的疼痛。然后平时又做一些锻炼，所以这是一个很好的模式，在美国已经成功了，希望能够推广到更多的地方，而且这种模式可以帮助政府减少这个医疗的支出，大致是这么个情况。好，非常感谢 Dr. 许家杰教授，Thank you so much, Dr. Chu。
谢谢谢谢，因为我的普通话讲的不太好，所以如果我知道我的同行都是中国的话，我有这个中文的 PowerPoint，OK，因为这个，因为我在中国在福建啊，我都是用中文讲，我的中文不太好。如果有中文的 PowerPoint，他们也听得比较明白一点。所以
没关
今
系。
天我就是用英文讲，不过你已经 summarize 的已经很好了，就是这个总结一下，就是全球都有医学危机，老人协会也有这个多方面的问题，一定要不可以以西医为主的医疗体系完全是中医也不行，因为在现代社会，就怎么去这个中医的整体观念啊啊。还有，我觉得最主要就是要人明白不用很多钱也可以治好病，因为以前在很多社会就是用钱多就是要越好，就不一定的啊，所以我们广东人就是说当老师说中医师平便宜价廉靚正，OK，平靚正，OK，that's in 广东都是这样说，就是中医这样。So 所以现在我觉得中国也是要中西医整合、中西医协同，就是因为吸血中的人很小，现在因为老一辈的吸血中的产可期都是96黄先生是96啊这个吴先中教授都已经我的是99、100岁，所以最主要就是要用现代言语来去表达这个中医的整体观念，因为现在西方也觉得这个他们的这个 model 已经有问题了，所以我就希望你们这个对这个工作推动的已经8届了，就是恭喜你们这个工作，谢谢。
Great. The Dr. Chu, may I catch this chance ask you one question? Because right now in China, it's Dr. The Fan Daiming 院士, he talk about the holistic integrative medicine. Integrative medicine. How about you think about that? What's your idea with that?
No, I mean, obviously, I work with 老一辈的这个医学，陈可基院士啊，吴贤仲院士，韩基生院士。不过我觉得这个班院士他这个GI specialist，他都觉得这个西医有问题，所以他有推动这个整合医学，所以这个是很好的事。
Oh, thank you so much. 好，很好，很好。So, uh, yeah, these few years we get a lot of the push with Dr. Fan. That is 樊院士很鼓励我们，也每年很支持我们。希望你们两位大家早一点能够在我们的会议相见。好，谢谢，谢谢。
好
我们这
，OK，
个阶
谢谢，拜
段就到
拜。
这里。稍等。